Hello, Internet. Welcome to the snowiest snow that ever snowed. I cannot describe how much of a frozen tundra winter wasteland the lower mainland is. And, against all odds, we are here and alive, kind of. And now I got two other people, maybe three. Who knows? You know, Nathan could come in fashionably late, as usual. Well, Chris
Maybe.
is here. Maybe.
I'm here. Yes.
Elvin's here, but he is not.
He'll be here in a second. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if Nate's joining us or not. Yeah, so I didn't leave my house today at all.
I did, and I actually brought something to share with the class.
Some photos?
Yeah, this was me. So I woke up this morning at like 8 or around 8 a.m., which is unheard of for me. I'm very much of a night owl, but I have a shoot tomorrow at 11 or something in White Rock. Hi, Elvin.
Hello.
Here's me in the morning. So anyway, I woke up at 8.
Dude, you got so much dandruff. Get Head and Shoulders.
Oh, trust me, it gets worse.
It gets worse.
So this is I woke up at 8 and my power was out.
Oh.
And there's about 2 feet of snow outside my house. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go get some dog food and some beer, because if my power's out, I'm not leaving the house. And
They go together.
They do.
Fantastic.
Dog's got food and daddy's got food. And so this was when I left the house, and then the like Walmart or whatever, it's like maybe a 2-minute drive from my house. It took me about 2 hours to walk there and back because I was up to my knees in snow. This is when I left. This is when I got back. It was not okay.
Yeah.
And then Chris was messaging me being like, hey, I think the room for StreamYards or for the stream is okay. And I messaged him and I'm like, my power's back on. It got on
like an hour ago? Not even?
Like 10-15 minutes ago.
Wow.
Oh my God. Oh, that's crazy.
So I might be here the whole time. Who knows?
Right. Might cut out. All right. Yeah, it was like everybody, the whole city just shut down, right? So if you live in Vancouver area, you probably didn't do much today.
No.
Nobody did.
The rest of Canada just laughs at us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You
I laugh at
imbeciles.
us.
You imbeciles.
Yeah, but that's why we move here. That's why we live here, because we want fierce mild.
Yeah. See, because I'm from East Coast, I still have winter tires on my car.
Oh
And
yeah.
I know.
I got winter tires on my car too.
I got winter tires because I'm not an idiot. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the worst thing is, it's not like me. Like, I'm fine. It's every other asshole on the road that's gonna plow into me.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 people don't have winter tires here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's what I said to my wife when we first moved here. I'm like, this is the scariest winter driving I've ever experienced.
Yeah.
You know, and I've driven Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa, you know, when it's been bad, but everyone knows how to drive there. That's the difference.
Yeah, I'm used to like driving in a 98 or 89 Honda Civic hatchback without winters on it because I couldn't afford it, but I would drive slowly, and also there'd be 4 feet of snow, and the scariest thing was the deer.
Yes.
But now it's family minivans. The most dangerous of all the.
It amazes me when I see someone in a Tesla driving around in the snow, or like, you know, a sporty
They're probably
car,
doing
like
yeah, sporty car. Teslas, I would imagine, have some sort of robot that goes like, yo, slow down, or tire traction, or dispersion of
go.
traction.
What are you doing driving? Go home. That's probably what it says.
Yeah, just like, Dad, I'm cold.
Yeah.
The problem here is it doesn't snow enough, so people assume that they don't need to go buy snow tires. They're like, it only snows 3 or 4 times. I'm okay. I'll survive it. But those 3 or 4 times is like hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was stuck in traffic for 3 hours last week. I moved 1 kilometer per hour.
Yeah.
I picked my kids up at 3. I didn't get home till 6.
Wow. Yeah,
That's when you pull out the dad term when you go, I walked up the hill both ways in my best shoes. But you go like, I can't move the car. You're walking. And it's not because I don't love you. It's because I love you. And I don't want you to sit in here while I curse and damn every person that I see.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're nice and toasty in our houses for now.
Exactly.
I'm not, because the power just went on. It's still cold as balls in here. That's why I'm drinking.
Oh, so you're drinking cold beverages to keep warm?
No, it's well, actually, no. The beer's cold because I left it outside.
I love the fact you say that's why I'm drinking. Come on, Justin.
Yeah.
Well, it's the excuse that I'm using right now.
Every day is an excuse.
There's a lot of reasons to drink.
Yeah. If you watch certain shows, you definitely want to drink.
Yeah, I got 2 reasons. Okay. I have 2 reasons to drink, and it's both my son's names. That's why.
Oh, hey, Kiwi.
Wow. Ouch. Ouch.
Yeah.
I kind of like that Kiwi guy. He's pretty nice.
He's all right.
Could be an intern one day if he keeps it up. Oh man, how was the week? How was the week? Besides the snow, how was the entertainment week for you guys? Did you consume anything?
Yeah, it's been good. Have you guys ever watched Entourage, the old show Entourage?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, my wife and I just started. She's watched it many times, but I got back into it with her. I've never actually watched the whole thing, and we've just been binge watching it. Like I think we're almost, and I didn't even realize it because there's 8 seasons, so I think we're on season 7, and
that's what an intern does, Kiwi.
Intern usually do work for free.
that's the whole point.
All right, he's on the right track.
Yeah. So yeah, we've been binge watching Entourage. It's kind of dated a little bit. Obviously, it's very I think it's produced by Mark Wahlberg, so it's sort of produced based on his life, right? Like being a celebrity and just hiring your friends. I like it. It's a funny show, and I didn't even realize there's 8 seasons, and then there was a movie afterwards.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we've been binge watching. And I did start watching, like we talked last week. I started watching the first episode of True Detective, the new True Detective with Jodie Foster. Yeah, which is really good. I really like it. So that's what I've been watching.
I'm gonna like what I have to say here later.
Okay.
I got my the good, the bad, and the ugly this week. So
okay.
I watched.
Anyways, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt you.
I watched. It's on Netflix. It just came out. I think the tail end. Yeah, like September of last year. A movie called Reptile. It's with Benicio del Toro, Alicia Silverstone, Justin Timberlake.
That sounds like fun.
It's a like cop crime thriller, murder thriller thing or whatever, where Benicio del Toro plays this detective or something who like is working on this murder case, and Justin Timberlake's wife gets murdered, and he's a realtor. And it gets like super conspiracy stuff, and like there's crooked cops and like who's the good guy, and oh no, there's all this, but it doesn't go a lot of the normal tropes of like, oh, crooked cops, okay, well, it's this guy's going to be an asshole about this and he's going to act super tough or whatever. And Benicio del Toro is one of the hardest. I don't have my bleep button.
I'll do it.
Say
bleep.
Yeah, he's one of the hardest MFers in a movie I've seen in a while.
Mother's fudge.
His type of badass. Remember Mike Ehrmantraut, like Mike from Breaking Bad? Like, you're shaking your head, Elvin. No,
I have no idea.
Mike, did you watch Breaking Bad?
Oh, Mike. Okay, yeah.
Okay. Mike, like that kind of badass where he's not like, oh, I'm super macho and super tough, and blah, blah, but he's just like genuinely just a badass, and he's kind of stoic and quiet, but he's very calculated, and it's so good. But yeah, the ending was great. A lot of twists that you don't really see coming, and even at the very end, when you know all the pieces and you know what's going on, the ending was still exhilarating, exciting, and you weren't like, oh, it's this guy. Oh, okay, it's this guy. All right. even though you're doing that through the whole movie. But no, it was a lot of fun and a really, really good like crime murder thriller.
Nice.
Doesn't
Elvin, are you
great scores.
you've been watching stuff? You've been watching stuff, Elvin, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I mean, do you want to talk it now, or do you want to do Monarch first? What do you want to do?
We can get into Monarch. I know that Kiwi's here early because I know he's a big Godzilla fan and he wanted to be a part of this conversation. So yeah, we can talk Monarch first.
Finale, right? So
yes,
episode 10. Man, okay.
I'm gonna grab a beer.
I might grab one too, just in case.
Also, here's Dio.
Hello.
So, okay.
So
it's interesting. The last episode, it has a lot of questions left at the end. It's a reunion episode too, right?
Yes.
Lee,
yeah.
And Shaw, his reunion with Keiko. I butcher that name so bad all the time.
Yeah.
It's crazy because they try to explain how time works there, but they don't really they're like gravitational. Nobody cares. Nobody even understands what you just said right now, right? But they tried. I'll give them, an effort points for that, for trying to give us some sort of explanation why it's a huge difference. So she obviously is freaked out, saying that I've only been here for 50, I think she said 57 days, something like that.
Yeah.
She's actually been here for like 56 years, right? I mean, that's a huge thing, and she's devastated. And I thought that was good, like showing the devastation of losing out on an entire generation of family time. Like she lost all her time with her kid, right? She's got her grandkids now, which were, Kate was introduced, said, I'm your grandkid. That's got to hit hard for somebody to lose all that.
Sure.
And just, like she didn't even know. It just, like, I think, like, I try to put it from my point of view. I'd be like, man, like to lose all your time with your kids, and then, your grandkids are there and they're all growing up. Like so much has been gone. Like, do you even fit into the world anymore? So, and that's important because, skip forward to the end, they do come back to the world, and she's just out of sync, right? She's a grandmother, but she's the same age as her son, right? Or if not younger.
I think he's actually older than her.
Yeah.
In the end. Yeah.
Other than that, I mean, the end fight was very interesting, and you knew this was coming. You knew they're saving their budget for the end because they probably didn't have a whole lot of budget for the CGI. Fight was all right. I mean, it's Godzilla doing his thing, right? Can't complain about that. And then the end where we see they've been missing for 2 years and a lot has changed, and then we see that. Didn't we call this? Didn't we say that we're going to see the big boy at the end?
Yeah.
We called this, I believe, right?
It was more. It wasn't so much that we called it. It's they better do this. Like, if this is gonna, if they don't do this, everyone's gonna be mad, kind of thing.
What did you guys think of the episode? Like, were you happy with it?
I was okay with it. Like, it was just, again, we've talked about this for weeks and weeks and weeks. Literally, it wasn't just the last episode, but it was like 40 minutes into the last episode where we actually saw two Titans fight each other, right? So we've been waiting for that. And then the whole time thing is interesting as well, because we kind of knew that because Lee Shaw didn't change, or he was older, but he didn't look older. So we knew there's some kind of time change, and you're right, they didn't explain it that well. And in fact, I saw someone online try to explain it, which really got me confused because it's different for different people or something like that.
That was weird.
Like, does the gravitational pull change? And because the way this person explained it online was Keiko is in there for 1 day, and that's 1 year on Earth. But Lee was in there for 1 day, but that's 3 years on Earth. And then I don't know. That's
because of the logarithmic scale, and he's 7 inches taller than her, so gravity affects him more because he's taller. I don't know.
I don't
It-
know. I didn't
it
really.
didn't-
I found that a bit confusing as well. Did you guys realize that they weren't actually in Hollow Earth? It was like another layer
Yeah.
called. That's the name of this one, Axie Mundi or something.
Yeah,
I didn't even.
Monday,
I
yeah.
thought
Maybe
there.
that's
So that.
they're saving that for season 2.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the one thing we've talked about this through this whole. I know we're going to talk about the whole sort of series, but the fact that they kept saying we want to prevent another G Day, we want to prevent another. How do you prevent that? Like,
Yeah.
you can't.
You're naive to think it's like, oh, we got to prevent a volcano from erupting. It's like, I mean, you can move people away from it. You ain't going to prevent it. And to think that you can is stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It's a natural disaster. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All the monsters are natural disasters.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that like it was just too little too late, because like even with their like reveals of like, oh look, she didn't age, it's like, we've already been seeing this, and it wasn't even like a far-fetched theory of like, oh wow, it's like, well, we've already had like multiple times that this has happened, and we've just gathered that as like a story piece of just being like, oh, he didn't age. Oh, okay, time must go differently. And then at the end, they're like, time goes differently. We're like, we know. You've already like,
you established that already.
We've already, you've established this premise. And sure, they didn't over-explain it, which usually I like when things are kind of left up for the imagination and left up for debate. But it was used as like a big like, oh, what a twist, what a reveal. And it's like, no, this is already part of your lore. Like, we already kind of know this. And then they're like, oh, is it Hollow Earth? And we're like, probably. And they're like, it's different. And it's like, okay, so you're just going to use the thing that's better for next season? Or like, are you leading into that? So.
Yeah. Because obviously, like, Lee Shaw is still in there, right? He got
every
left
time
behind.
I hear their name, I think Hobson Shaw.
Right.
Which is not good.
Yeah. So Kiwi said that he liked the episode but had some problems with it. So let us know what your problems were with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, it wasn't a bad episode. I think it was actually one of the better episodes out of the 10. But
it's because we got monsters.
Yeah.
It's funny how that works, huh? As soon as we get monsters, the ratings go up, the numbers go up.
Yeah,
that's what we're here for.
Right? Well, like it could just like, honestly, they should have used the kaiju like gratuitous boob scenes, where like Game of Thrones, you would have shitty story beats, and you'd be like, I don't care, there's tits, and you would forgive them for bad writing and bad like plot things, because they would just be like, yeah, is it confusing? Did we not explain too much? Whatever. Here's 10 minutes of boobs, and everyone's just like, this is fine. You can explain politics and stuff I don't care about for 10 minutes, and my interest is piqued. And that's kind of what this episode was. Godzilla shows up, and we're like, that's fine. Yeah, I don't care that you kind of did a bad job of explaining that. We got monsters fighting. This is cool.
For me, the issue, they could have done so much more with this ability to go down into another realm. I would have loved to hear more of that. Like, she was there for 57 days or something. I would have loved to hear her say, hey, I actually traveled and traversed this area. There's a lot of things going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Was she just sitting in camp for 57 days and didn't explore the place?
Well, it takes a long to make that bow and arrow, right? Like,
yeah, you got to figure out the whittling. You got to build a knife out of stone.
Yeah. Exactly.
But no, to your point, like the fact that they spent a season doing world building, but it was just Earth shit. It's like, I don't care about that. If you're going to bring in a new world, a new time, like time dilation thing, and like there's essentially an alien world underneath where all these kaiju and all this stuff is from. If you're going to do world building, I want to see that world. I don't want to see the world that I live in with scientists that I know already exist.
You know what they should have done with near the beginning, when Lee leaves and escapes.
Mhm.
And he has this team that he's had. Remember when he went to the Arctic, I think it was, or Antarctic, and he took over that building.
What, you mean outside our house right now?
Yeah. The warehouse down the street.
Yeah.
I would have loved to see him control that machine, like find that machine to go down below.
Sure.
Capture that, and then these misfit kids somehow, they're going to have to include them in there, figure out a way to get them in there, and they would just go traverse these realms looking for her.
Yeah.
That would have been more interesting.
Give me a Goonies episode where
Yes.
they
go down these things.
Yeah.
Oh, she's not there, but there's a giant monster. We defeat
Or
the monster, or
eggs,
we narrowly
or like-
escape the monster. On to the next episode.
Mhm.
We always.
Sorry, go ahead. You're saying?
I was just gonna say we always talked about, or people always said, okay, it's not about monsters because it's about Monarch. The show's called Monarch. I actually don't know if I learned anything about Monarch.
That's
They
what
don't
I
exist
mean by the
anymore. Remember, they
world
got
building.
taken over now.
Yeah.
Like, we already know what shitty corporations do. They try and make money, and then they go, "Oh, here's a shitty corporation. They're trying to make money." And it's like, we know this. We live in today. We understand big pharma is bad. Okay, like, you're not breaking any like new boundaries here.
You can still have Monarch in the show's name and be important because they could be providing, or some of the people have come on with Shaw, and they could be undercover. There could be sabotages happening throughout the time. You can still bring the Monarch department into this thing.
Yeah. Well,
You got to give us more adventure. Right?
Look at like, I think a good parallel is the Resident Evil series. Like, I want to hear about the Umbrella Corporation. When Resident Evil movies or games or whatever happens, did they make a TV show? I'm pretty sure they did, and it was garbage and nobody liked it. Anyway, but everyone loves hearing about the Umbrella Corporation because we get to see the seedy underbelly. We get to see what they're hiding, what they're conspiring to do. We get to see, it's not just like, here's a scientist that works for them. Yeah, they didn't like this person. Their coffee was bad this day. Oh, and they started dating this person, but then they didn't like them. It's like, nobody cares about that. I want to hear about the cool experiments they're doing and how it like broke the earth.
Yeah.
That dude that keeps flopping back and forth sides really annoyed me throughout the show.
Tim.
Just shut up, Tim. Just pick a side. I don't care.
I get it. You're trying to trade up for your job. Cool. You now have a 401k. Good for you.
The one character, and it wasn't even the character, it was might have just been her acting, was actually Kate. I found her really annoying. Like, I don't know if it's just the way she was delivering her lines or stuff, but she just, I don't know. She kind of bugged me after a while. The first episode, I thought she was good, and then after that, I kind of just.
The worst was the other girl,
May.
Oh my god, she's just so annoying. She's unlikable. She complains. She blames other people, even though she screws up herself. She wants people to feel, she wants affection. She wants people to feel sorry for her, but she's a problem.
Yeah.
And she obviously, sold them out, and then yet she still has to be the victim. It's this continuous, I'm a victim, please love me, care for me, I'm so sorry, forgive me, but I'm still going to screw you over. She does it again. She doubles down because they offered her a deal when she was in that office. And she took the deal. So I don't understand, what direction do they want this character to go? I don't get it. She's obviously not trustworthy. She's willing to screw these people over in a second. And she's a tech person. What tech does she help with? I don't see any tech help there.
She was only, like, the first episode is the only time she's actually on a computer.
Yeah, and then the laptop just gets thrown out the helicopter. That's it. Right? I don't even understand what her purpose is now.
Yeah. Speaking of Hobbs and Shaw, Kate was in Fast 9.
Maybe she just asked the director to use the same name. She's like, hey, I got an idea.
No, I don't think she had the same name. But
the brother, Kate, what is his purpose?
Which one?
Their whole purpose was at the beginning was him and Kate to find their dad and discover the whole, why did he have a secret life, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't actually explain anyways, right? He just kind of said, I did what I did. Like,
that's
his explanation. It was so bad, his storyline.
Yeah. I mean, my wife's gonna hate it when I say that to her. Oh, yeah, I did what I did on it.
Yeah, I did what I did.
So the whole purpose was to find the dad. That's how the story starts. They find Shaw, and then the dad's storyline just sort of gets muddled and left behind. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not front and center anymore.
Yeah.
And then when they do find the dad, they hate him. They don't want to deal with him. Well, then why were you looking for him in the first place? Yeah. I don't understand. The son is so upset with them. I don't want to talk to you ever again. Then why were you looking for him? Why did you put your life at risk?
They could have, you know what they should have done, which is a bit of a ripoff. They should have done like a Rogue One where like the bad corporation took him in and was using him with his, you know, brain technology, and they had to like rescue him from that.
That's would have been a great story beat.
Yeah.
Like extorting him to then take advantage and try and monetize or like take it or to utilize the kaiju stuff. And then he was like, well, they had literally me in a jail cell and were like torturing me so that I would work for them.
When they in the beginning said that we need to find our dad, I really, really thought this guy was going to be of very importance, like front and center to this whole story. Like this guy finds Godzilla and the rest of the monsters. He's down below. Maybe he's got technology that can help them save them from these kaijus. Like,
hold on. The end of this joke is that he secretly installed a butthole that they could then throw torpedoes into so they could blow up Godzilla.
Sure, I'll take that too.
Yeah.
It just, I really thought there was an importance to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
It ended up being Shaw and Keiko. They're the two importance of the show.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're both in the past and the present, and they both make a difference. Right? Mm-hmm. So I don't know why the writers thought it would be to start off and say the dad is important and we're just going to bury it, you know, later on and have these two guys taking its place. Don't even start with that. Don't even do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a missed opportunity. There was a lot they could have done with this thing.
And again, too, like seeing this episode and then now looking back at the penultimate episode as its build-up, it made... Honestly, this episode made the last episode worse because I was already disappointed by here's the build up to the finale. And I was like, this is not a good like build up to a finale. And then the finale was just like, yeah, not much happened. Here's your monsters fighting. And then, but now when Godzilla and like when the fight happened, I was mad.
You're like, I should have seen this earlier.
It was kind of lackluster. It was cool.
That's was TV like, budget, right? I guess.
Yeah, the CG was good and whatever, but it was like I waited 10 episodes for that.
Yeah.
And now I also don't really care about any of the characters.
Yeah. I also find that going forward for like season 2 and the fact that there's another, I know the Godzilla X Kong coming out takes place at a different time. I actually think it's a problem, and this happens with Star Wars as well, is the whole timeline. Like, okay, so hang on. It's like this happened but after the first Godzilla movie, but before Godzilla King of Monsters and before Godzilla versus Kong. So I just find like, you know, because it'd make more sense if the series was leading into the next movie or something like that.
Yeah, there's still a years of gap there, right? Because it's 2027, I think, when they come back up, right? And it's spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it. Sorry, you should have seen it. It's been almost a week. But there's a gap of years now. So why? Why does it make them stay a couple more days down? Then you now have it right up to the movie because they moved the movie up to March now.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They could have just, when they were setting up this whole show, they could have said, let's lead it right up to the movie and we're good to go. But I guess they wanted another season.
Well, but again, the time frame is still like they came back and it was only 2 years later, so it was 2017.
Yeah.
When they came back, right? And like the Godzilla versus Kong, these movies are way ahead of that. They're like 20. They're in like the present time, 2024.
Like 5 or 6 years ahead, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the movie and the TV show weren't talking.
No, they are.
Oh, okay.
Because the very first episode had what's the name? John Goodman?
Majors.
Yeah. Well, they kept showing clips from the Godzilla 2014, right, when he attacked San Francisco. So it's all in the same universe. I'm just I think it's confusing, to anybody. Like, when does this happen? It's the same thing when you're watching the Star Wars shows, and it's like, wait, we just saw Mando, which happens after Return of the Jedi. Now we're jumping back to Obi-Wan, which happens when, and then when does this? I don't know. It's just a little too confusing.
Well, I mean, they could also honestly just like have a good like Star Wars crawl in the beginning of just like, here's all the shit that you missed in case you didn't. Here's what happened. Here's where we're at. Also, what happened in this season? What do people need to be caught up on? Hey, there's a guy that everyone was pissed at because he disappeared. They found him, and now they're still pissed at him. Kaiju are still a thing, and there's some scientists that jump ship whenever they get a chance.
The crazy part about all of this is none of these characters, as far as I know, are going to be in the new movie.
No. But I'm saying, like, what importance canonically do they have?
Well, Godzilla will be in the new movie.
Oh, okay, good.
That's great, thanks.
That's what I mean.
I was going to be his son.
Just to let you know.
Jr.
Yeah. And Kong will be in the new
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
because
the
they're in the
Infinity
title.
Gauntlets.
It took me a while to figure that out.
It doesn't look like the Infinity Gauntlet.
What's that? Oh, it's his new.
It is gold. Like, make it silver, black, or something.
It's gold and there's jewels on it, isn't there? Like, I swear to God,
no, there's no jewels.
I saw jewels on it. Or they're purple something. I don't know.
There's a scene where he's listening to music, about to snap his fingers. No, don't do it.
Shit.
I just find it weird. Someone of Keiko's importance is not going to be probably in this new movie. And the timeline is what? She's only going to be 5 more years older. She's still got like another 30 years of life probably in her.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like, if she's one of these most important scientists in the show, why is she not in the movie? Correct me. Maybe we're going to get a surprise cameo. Maybe. But I checked the cast list. Mm-hmm. She's not on there.
Yeah.
So.
But also, they hide those things usually. If it's
I'm not saying like maybe, but I highly doubt it.
Yeah, it didn't seem like a big enough PR.
And then our biggest star of the show, Shaw, we don't even know what's going to happen to him.
Yeah.
Did he die? Is he alive? We have no idea. I mean, that falls pretty high. So.
Yeah. Well, obviously, that was the whole setup for this season 2, right? Like, they got to go find him now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to see this again. Like, go find him back there.
I got to follow the love triangles. What's happening with the love triangles? That's what I need.
Is Rodan going to shack up with Godzilla or what?
So what happened to the other guy?
Listen to your audience, people. Come on. We want to see.
What happened to the in the triangle? What happened to the other guy? Where did he go? Did he die in Skull Island?
Oh, the original, the John Goodman, younger.
No. In this show, the triangle, the other guy in the past. There's 3 of them in the past.
That's what I mean.
Is that John Goodman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's his younger. Yeah.
Boy, did he let himself go?
Yeah.
That
they don't. He passed away, but they don't say how. If it's just of age or. Yeah.
He died there, I think, didn't he?
I don't know. Maybe it was the giant pissed off gorillas that killed him. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh no, he dies on Skull. Sorry, he dies in the movie Skull Island.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
yeah. I just remember now that John Goodman is him because I didn't get that good connection when I was watching the show. They didn't do a good enough job to tell me that's the guy that was there, and it's the same character.
Mm-hmm.
It was like a brief.
They had too much. Yeah. They had too much fun fading between the real father and real son, between Kurt Russell and Wyatt Russell.
Yeah,
just trying to think of different ways they could transition between the two of them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. Season 2 is already in the works, from what I've heard. Apple and everybody involved love the numbers. Hey, it was about an average of 85% approval from critics.
A lot of people did like this show. A lot of people did like the show.
I said it, I think last week. I think this is the Andor for us. Like, if you're not super ingrained in the lore, you probably won't like it. But if you are, you're just happy that there is like, you know what? I'm just happy there's a high quality, well written, character driven narrative in this universe, and that's kind of where I'm assuming.
I don't know about high quality, but
well, I mean, like to an Apple, like this is a AAA kind of like
everything in Apple is high quality apparently.
Exactly. Like I mean, it looks good. It's good casts. It's yeah.
It is one of those shows though where there isn't like you kind of know what happens, right? Again, there's these massive monsters that destroy cities. So it's like what's the intrigue or and I guess they're trying to do that through the people, but I think I don't know. It just wasn't there for me for sure.
All right.
Potential was there.
Did we come into this expecting Armageddon and all we got was a gunshot?
I was expecting at least 7.5 throughout the board. I didn't think it's going to be a 9, but I thought it was going to be a 7.5 consistently. Mm-hmm. I was going in a bit of, I was going with, I'm going to see some Godzilla action. I'm going to see some new monsters. I'm going to hear about the lore more. And I was expecting
lore.
Because it was TV, right? So I'm like, it's not going to be movie budget. You're not going to see constant fights. But I was like, maybe they'll explain more about where they're coming from and how they're living underneath all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they touched on it a little bit.
That's why I brought up Resident Evil. Because, like, everyone knows who Umbrella Corp is. It's because they've done a lot of world building on telling you the seedy underbelly of that corporation. But all that this show, I feel, did was just like, oh, here's kind of some like infighting with some like scientists. And it's like, yeah, but you're just doing interpersonal politics, not here's the grand scheme and all horrible things that this company is doing. So I know more about the people who work there, but they're probably just going to go work for Apple or IBM after this. Like, who gives a shit?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they weren't some of the people that like created any of the horrible atrocities, or like you didn't focus on the company that the show is named after. You focused on the mostly innocent people who are working for it. And then were they trying to do that to make like to garner sympathy to humanize it? But again, we don't have a bad taste. We don't know who Monarch is. So like, why are you making us feel or understand the people who work there when we don't hate? Like, they're not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I find. Sorry, go ahead. Yeah, finish.
I was just going to say that we talked about this before, but not even just a big monster fight like halfway through the series, but something should have happened in episode 4 or 5. Like maybe when Keiko or whatever her name was, when she falls into the pit, that was in the first episode.
Yeah.
Right? Like maybe they should have held off and done that, episode 4 or 5 to just give it a bit more like, oh my God, is she dead? Where did she go? But
here's a thought. When she falls in the pit, why not next episode show her in the place that she's at? Right? Why hold off on that? To what, a big surprise? We already know they're going to see her at the end. Was anybody surprised to see her at the end? I wasn't. No. I'm like, there she is, like I thought she would be. Right?
Well, yeah, but to Chris's point, like, why put that in the first episode? Because then all we know her as the girl who fell in the pit, as opposed to, oh, that's Keiko. We love her. Oh no, she's gone. But if you just show her in the first episode, it's just like, oh, that's the whole girl. That's the pit girl.
We just came up with 2 possible scenarios they could have went with and would have been fine with us. Either show her later on falling down, or have her fall down early, but show her back in the new world that she's in.
Right? And that's of bad things to say about a show, or complaints or constructive.
But those improve the show.
No, but I'm saying of things that a show can have people say like, oh, I wish you did this, or that you should have done this better. The fact that we're saying we wanted to love this character more is a good, not a bad thing. Yeah. I mean, it's obviously something they need to fix, but it's not something that they couldn't We wanted the show to give us more. We wanted more of this character. We wanted more of a lot of characters, to be honest.
Yeah, it would have been amazing because we knew that in the past both Bill and Lee liked her, right? That was sort of the love triangle, but there was still no sort of resolution there. Like even Lee saying like, "Okay, I know you should be with him," or something like that. They just kind of like it kind of just resolved itself or something.
Kiwi says, I was surprised because I thought she was eaten by the bugs. Speaking of which, how did she survive that?
The bugs.
She made a bow and arrow.
Ask questions. Just
she made a bow and arrow.
Okay?
She got really good with that bow and arrow.
As she was falling,
she was making the bow and arrow with she grabbed one of the insect's legs and made a bow and arrow out of it. There it is.
Yeah, she was falling. Legolas shit in there.
See, I think they raised her. I think they took her down.
She became Mowgli.
Yeah.
What also made this Monarch agency so pathetic is they were duped many times by 3 kids.
Yeah.
And they allowed the 3 kids to join them in a mission.
Yeah.
That's garbage. I'm sorry, that's garbage. You can't have that.
That's why I'm saying, like, we don't care about the corporation.
Yeah.
Like, I learned nothing about the company.
Well, you learn how pathetic they are. That's what you learned.
Yeah. But a show that's named after the company.
Would the show have been better if there was like a top evil person, spinning the chair around?
Girl was going to be it.
And the cats, and
No, it would have been a Komodo dragon.
No.
Baby Godzilla.
Ow!
Yeah, a little mini Godzilla, a little iguana or something. Yeah, that would have been sick.
No, it's just,
and Andy Serkis could have done the mocap for the iguana.
True. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Anything else before we give our score? No. Okay.
No.
What's your score, guys? You want to go, Chris, first?
For the episode, I'll give it like a 6.5, and for the whole series, probably.
Wait. We'll do the episode, then we'll do the series.
Okay, episode 6.5.
Okay, Justin.
5.
Oh, that was quick. 5.
It was meh.
I'm gonna give it 7. All right. Okay, so we're pretty close on the score. There wasn't that huge of a difference. Let's go around again for the entire show
series,
the season.
It's tough. Had so much potential. I guess I'll give it a 6.5 as well for the whole series.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how
10 being good.
No, yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, how what's the term I'm looking for? How likely am I to recommend this to somebody? That's how I'm gonna rate it. I'm gonna say 4.5 because I'm not gonna.
That is not a recommendation. Then
I'm not gonna recommend it.
That is just go right.
Unless somebody's
swipe
just
left.
like,
that's what you're saying. Swipe left.
Absolutely. Unless somebody's just like, man, I love Godzilla. I was like, well, okay. If somebody is like, I love Godzilla, they're already gonna have watched this because they're gonna known about the production when. So
what you're saying is, let's say Kiwi hasn't seen it. Do you recommend Kiwi to watch it?
I mean, if you like Godzilla, here's a show that other people who like Godzilla like. But if you're just a person who's like, oh, I've seen the movies, don't watch it.
Okay, so was it 6.5 and then 4.5, correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a 6.5 as well. That's not good enough. There's things there. There's potential there. There's glimpse, and then it just goes flat.
The one thing that Monarch did for me is I'm probably going to go see Godzilla vs. Kong in the theater because I just want to
cleanse your palate. Sure. Yes.
Yeah. I wanted to end on a high note. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see some fucking monsters fight.
Yeah. So maybe that's why they did it. Like, let's make this series not that good.
I don't want to watch 10 episodes of edging. Okay, that's not why I watch TV. Is to get teased.
Yeah.
I think overall the score, if you were to take all of our scores, including what's his name? I already forgot his name. He left the show for one day.
Kiwi?
Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
I think the average score is around 6.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole show, and that's just not good enough.
No.
Yeah. Here's what Kiwi gives it.
Monarch is never meant to be evil, which is another problem I have. Also, episode 8.5. Wait.
That's his score for the episode.
Oh,
the episode, and then
Monster
7
Fight.
show.
Full show is 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's coming from a Godzilla fan.
Yep. It's not good when you give the whole show 7.
I feel I got to change my color palette. I'm doing yellow, and y'all got blues and purples.
We could change to your.
No. I'm a change. No. I like it's a good contrast. You got good color theory going on here, and I need to adhere to it. We need to have some cohesion, unlike this show did with its writing.
Nice transition.
Okay. Do you guys want me to do the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm going to keep it short, maybe a minute and a half each.
So this is stuff you watched this week?
Yeah. So there's 3 shows that I watched. 2 of them I've completed. 1 of them I just started. Okay. So I'll go with, what do you want? You pick the good, the bad, the ugly. Pick one.
Go with the good.
Okay. The good. Okay. All right. So we'll go start with the positives. So I just watched both seasons of The Bear. On Disney Plus, I believe it is. Don't ask me how I watched it, but I did. So The Bear it's about culinary. It's about a restaurant. It's about somebody.
The Bear?
Yes. So
yeah.
I watched both episodes, like I just said. I think the show is phenomenal.
If you've ever worked as a line cook, it's gonna be triggering. It's gonna be triggering.
Yeah,
in a good way.
I worked my way up from busboy to waiter, and then
hell yeah,
right. I worked my way up there, and
I went backwards.
You're like, fuck it, I want to wash dishes. I want to deal with you people.
My first night at a job at a restaurant, I was supposed to be like a busboy. By the end of the night, I was washing dishes.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I would just
that was it. I never worked in a restaurant again. That was it.
When I was told to hand in my apron and say, move up to the front, I was like, see you later, suckers. Like, I don't want to see dishes again unless I'm dropping it off to you guys. Right? Yeah. Anyways, back to the show. The show, the characters in there, the development of characters, the flaws, the comedy, the drama, the payouts. Man, this show hits. Even if you don't care about cooking in general, culinary arts and all that stuff, you're still going to enjoy this show. It has so many things going on. I love this show. I'm so bummed out that I burned through 2 seasons this fast. I should have paced myself. Now I'm waiting for this season 3, and they're like, well, we just announced season 3, so you're going to have to wait a year or so for it. I'm like, no, I want it now. But this show, to me, is a 9.5 out of 10.
It won a bunch of awards, didn't it?
It's won everything.
Yeah.
When it comes to TV, except, so you tell me this, Elvin, because I haven't watched it. I do want to watch it. It's been put in the comedy, not like drama.
You could go both ways.
Honestly, it's like an Aaron Sorkin type, where it's real life comedy. Like there's drama, and you're stressed out the whole time watching it, but it's funny.
Yeah, there is some deep payoffs here.
Yeah,
right. Flashbacks and the cameos of some of these big celebrities. I'm not going to ruin it for anybody because it's so cool to see them show up out of nowhere.
Yeah,
you're just like, wait, you're
big.
Yeah, wait, hold on. You're a big actor. What are you doing in this show?
Yeah,
and it's just like, oh, it's so cool. There was 3 actors that showed up as cameos. I was geeking out, right? Because they're so top level actors, and they're showing up out of nowhere for this show.
Are they playing them? They're playing
They're playing a character. They're playing a character in this show.
Okay, because when I was talking about Entourage before, they did that a lot.
Yeah, no, that's actually them playing them. Yeah. But this is actually.
I mean, sometimes there's like a kind of a caricature where it's like an actor who's just playing an actor kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not necessarily playing themselves. No.
So I highly recommend it to people to watch. It's really, really good, and I cannot believe I'm kicking myself for not watching it until now. because I heard about it this whole time, and I'm just like, I don't know if I want to watch the show, but I'm so glad I did, and I'm just so happy to go through it. I might even just go watch it again because it was that good. And my wife watched season 1 for me with me, and then she kind of fell off for season 2. But I think she wants to watch season 2, and I'll happily sit there and go through the episodes again.
Mhm.
That's how good it was personally. A 9.5 out of 10 for me for both seasons. Both seasons, very close to 10, very close.
Okay, so that's the bear.
That's a good. Yeah, that's the good.
Okay, so what's the bad?
We got the bad and the ugly. You want the bad? Okay, so the bad is I just watched the Echo show. And I got to tell you, this was a huge missed opportunity to be so much better. This was an average show. I think when I say average, I'm thinking like 5.5 out of 10. It had the potential, but again, the writing, the actors, they did their job. They were given a script. They did their job. I got no issues with any of the actors. The problem that I had was the writing, the director, and the choreography. I have issues with that because there are so many problems in this show, and I don't have time to get into it because I want to do it quickly, but I'll just quickly mention a couple of things. I thought some of the fight scenes were not good. There's one scene I mentioned I was talking to D about it on Sunday. There's a guy who's 6'4", 250.
Monday.
Sorry?
Monday.
Yeah, no, I was talking to him off air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we were talking to him off air. So there's a scene where he's 6'4".
I was like, you get the times wrong. Now you got the days wrong. Are you okay, Elvin?
No. So he punches her directly in the nose. Like, we're talking about a big dude here, and she doesn't get a single scratch. I thought this was going to be a gritty, violent show, which it had the potential to be. Then they throw this jangling of the keys with Daredevil. He fights her, and it's some of the worst choreography I've seen. There are gaps in there where you just like, they didn't even hit each other. You can see it. Freeze frame, you're like, he misses her by 3-4 inches there. And then he just disappears. He just vanishes for no reason. So I don't know what that was about. I was like, that's kind of weird because that's not how he does things. He sends the ball.
Finishes his job.
Yeah. So that's a problem. Then the character itself, they wrote her into a corner, I think. They didn't let her be more emotional. She just like very, like just straight faced and there's not an emotion. There's no tears. There's no.
It's
screaming.
the Disney stoic.
It's just
super
so
tough
bad.
lady.
Like you're limiting the actor's abilities. Even with Kingpin, if you look at Daredevil, how emotional he gets, and then you look at this show, it's like he's a shell of himself as a character. And you could tell, it's a D'Onofrio?
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
You can tell he's probably frustrated going, hello, I can act. Just let me loose. I can make this character way better than you're writing it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's another problem there. The powers that she has. There's no explanation of the limitations, how they get it. It's just like, it's passed down through ancestors. The lore, they got a lot of the history of these Aboriginal people or Indigenous people's lores wrong. There's a scene where in the past they're playing this specific game. No women were allowed to play that game. That should have been pointed out in this. If you want change, you need to point out the errors.
Hold on. So I recommended this show to you.
But you only watched the first episode.
I watched the first, I think, 2 episodes.
Okay. Me too. I've watched.
The problem started as we go.
And then I saw the review, like, because I'll watch or I'll look at like a review first of the series kind of thing. I watched the first 2 episodes, and that's when I was like, yeah, it's pretty good. I like fights are good. It's some intense. It's good and gritty. It feels like old Daredevil. And then I watched the first 2 episodes, and then I watched a review of the 3rd episode, and I was like, oh, it fell off. Okay. And I stopped paying attention to the show.
So you guys know I have an older son who is deaf, and sign language is the predominant way of communicating with them. So for me, I waited to watch it with him together.
Yeah. Because
I wanted to hear his opinion on this. And we sat down and we binged the entire show together one sitting. I think we went to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning or something.
Nice.
And I asked him the next day, what are your thoughts on it? And he was just like, it's all right. He had a problem with the signing too, as well, he said. He said it wasn't as accurate as the subtitling. He said there were some issues here and there, and he goes, "That's not how we communicate in sign language. We get to the point. There's no R's, they, them, it. There's just go outside, or I went outside and did this. It's like straight to the point."
Yeah.
And the problem, the other problem they had with this was they had 3 ways of communicating on the show at the same time, which is confusing. They had sign as one, then they had actual verbiage speech, and then they had subtitling some of the parts. It's not like subtitle where you could turn it off. It was built in, right? And that makes a big difference. Because why are you talking if you're already signing and you already have subtitling? You shouldn't be talking.
Cowbunga, dude, you shut your mouth.
What's he talking about, Justin? Let's add it to our show again.
Willow.
There we go. Nothing tops that, Cowbunga, dude. Nothing tops that. Oh, look at this.
All right, I feel attacked.
Oh, I know, right? What's with the hate here? But anyways, there's also another scene where she sends this explosive device into a building and blows up innocent people. Innocent people just she doesn't know who's there. There could be innocent people working there.
Yeah.
Who cares? Doesn't matter, right? And that's just the beginning of it. There are a lot more. This show has let me down. I really thought it had potential. Like I said, nothing against the actors. They did the best they could. But where a director doesn't know what to do, the editing and the choreography is bad. What do you expect?
So now the first fight scene between her and that group of people and Daredevil. Did you like that fight scene?
No. You can pause it and you can see huge gaps.
Sure, but the first time that you watched it.
No, I right away could see it. I was like, no, this is bad. This is bad. This is not how science works. I mean, like,
I was mainly looking at, so just as like the residual hangover from The Last Jedi, when there's those big group fight scenes, and also just being a big fan of like old Jackie Chan movies and stuff, I'm always watching the people in the background. And there was a lot of I didn't see a lot of like, ooh, my turn. Is it my turn yet? Ooh, like,
so you are right. You don't see that, but the other issue that a lot of people forget is she's an amputee. I have a friend who's an amputee. You don't move like that. I'm sorry. You got to give her that believable. Like, she should have been using more weapons.
Wait, isn't she actually an amputee?
Well, that still doesn't matter. I mean, then you give her the abilities of an amputee's fighting skill set. You can't make her.
Hold on. Let me be devil's advocate. Or is she a superhero, and that is not a crutch? Where she's more superhuman. That's no longer. She's more.
What are the powers that she?
Her powers, nobody knows what they are. They just throw up as they could be a healing power one time. It could be pushing somebody off one time. It's so weird. This power doesn't exist. It was made up for this show.
I was going to say, what is it? What is canonically in the comics?
In the comics, her power is the ability to copy someone's. She has photographic memory.
Right. Echo.
Yeah. Okay. So she's able to, if you do a kick or something like that, she's able to do the same thing because she sees it.
So she's like Jarvis was, right?
Yeah.
Jarvis
so they don't give her that ability in this show. So you just automatically remove that ability now.
Right.
And then she's still able to do all these amazing things with somebody with 2 perfectly good legs. And this is not a knock on anybody who's an amputee. Like I said, I have a friend who's an amputee, and he has told me there are massive limitations of what I can do. Sure. I can't jump off a staircase and land perfectly on the ground. I'm going to fall to my face, right? And she's jumping off a train. Superhero. But she's not a superhero either. She's just a hood. She's Kingpin's hoodlum.
Sure, but she also, and again, I'm just being devil's advocate here. She's been. Oh wait, no, this is not. This is before. No, this is. So, well, she's seen a lot of people do this kind of stuff.
But she doesn't have that power. That's what I'm explaining to you. They took that away.
Right.
They took it away. If they had that in there, then you can have an argument.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's jumping off trains and landing perfectly fine. And I'm like, you can't do that. It doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's sponsored by Elon Musk and he gave her the T-1000's leg.
And I think actually, I think one of the problems actually with the show, and I've only watched the first 2 episodes, and I probably won't watch anymore because I'm not really interested. But I think actually one of the things was in the marketing of this show, they really marketed like this is an R-rated show. This is going to be like
Yeah,
they did.
your kids shouldn't watch this, and it's not.
cutting,
They had
slashing.
a like, oh, viewer discretion advised kind of
Yes.
thing. Like,
Yeah.
and then
There was no
they
viewer
showed,
discretion needed. I'll tell you that right
there
now.
were 2 scenes where she like the one dude gets his face shot off, and I was like, right when I saw that, I was like, hell yeah, we're doing some like old Daredevil shit. This is gonna be sick. And then Vincent D'Onofrio kicks in a dude's head, and I'm like, yeah, this is what we wanted. And then the rest was just like, oh, we added some blood in the background, and it's like, fuck, I hate you.
She goes back to her hometown 20 years after, and she expects people to know who she is. And she brings the problem to the town, and she goes, I don't care.
Yeah.
They're
And
like,
everyone's
you're
warning
like, you're going to hurt us here.
Yeah.
Hey, he's bad. Kingpin's bad. I want to be the Queen Pim. She actually says that in the show. I want to be the Queen Pim. And I was like, what? And she doesn't care about her family's well-being at all.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. And then Kingpin, the character itself, why is he going back to her? She shot him in the face. You don't need her. She has nothing to offer you. You're a Kingpin. You can find million resources. You have characters like Bullseye who fights with Daredevil toe-to-toe. You have access to so many other bad people that you can pay. In the comics, that's what he does.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need her. But yet he goes back to her and begs her to come back to her. Come back to him. And it's just so pathetic. It's really bad. 5.5, I think I'm going to give this show. That's the bad.
That's the bad. Wow.
What's the ugly?
The ugly, it's still pending, but one episode already told me it's ugly, is True Detective's new season. I watched the first episode, and I thought it had the eerie feeling. I do like the locale, which is up north. I do like that. I do like Jodie Foster. Is that her name? Yeah, that's her name, Jodie Foster. I do like her. The character I don't like is her partner, or her supposed partner soon, because the first episode they're at each other's head. But her partner in the show, she's so unlikable. She is what the embodiment of woke. She is trying to be a man, but she has to be respected as a woman. She's trying to be a thug, but she's a cop. Pick a side. You can't have both. I know cops. You can't be a thug and walk around like a thug. Sorry, you got to be a cop. Figure it out. I don't know. Cops? Sorry?
I'm going to argue on that one.
Well, you can argue all you want.
Have you met New West cops?
It's your perspective. What I'm saying is in the show, Jodie Foster is a cop. She's rude at times, yes. But at the end of the day, she abides by the law. She acts like a professional cop. Then you have this other character. I don't even know her name. I'm sorry. I should have pulled up her name. There's a scene where she's having a coitus, shall we say. And the guy starts crying. He's like, oh, it's too tough. I was like, what? What are we watching here? Like, it's so cringe. It's like, oh my God. And then she's just like, oh, I don't like this character, but I hope the story overpowers it, because I think it has an eerie potential. The fact that it's eerie, that's what I like about True Detectives, because it's always been like that. It's very eerie, especially the first season is very eerie.
I'm actually only halfway through the first episode, but I'm sorry, the first 5 minutes of that show was better than any Monarch or whatever I've watched in the last while. So, like, the first 5 minutes, like you said, is eerie. There was something going on, and I was just hooked right away. So, but I got to watch the rest of it, and I think it only comes out once a week, right? They haven't dropped it.
Yeah, once a week. HBO. Yeah, once a week.
Okay.
But yeah, so far, I mean, like I said, I've only watched one episode. Let's see how this unfolds. But so far, it's kind of ugly to me.
Okay.
So I have a slightly, I mean, it's related because of the platform that we're on. But it's a bingeable series. It has depth. It has emotion. It has great conversations. So you know the channel and the guys, of course, everyone knows them. So Good Mythical Morning. So Rhett and Link, YouTube OGs. Are you either of you aware? So Rhett and Link, They're some of like the first big YouTube guys.
Okay.
They have a show called Good Mythical Morning. They sit at a table, talk about whatever. So they have a another channel called like Mythical Kitchen or something like that, where it's like a cooking show, and they do a lot of like, oh, here's a bunch of cooking myths and very YouTube-y. We're gonna try all these things, and here's the best way to make an egg. Here's the best whatever. They have a series called Last Meal where they get celebrities on, and the host Josh is one of the funniest and quickest comedians I've ever seen. But so they get these celebrities on and they go, what would be your last meal? And then they prepare it all and they go like, oh, I want a burger from this place. I want this kind of thing. You know, it's, and they go through all these different foods or whatever. But then in a very happy and fun and friendly environment, they talk about death. They talk about their fears. They talk about like traumatic experiences in their life and how they became better about it, what they learned from it, while focusing on the food that is comfort food. And like they had like Tom Hanks on it. They had John Boyega. They had what's his name? Jake Johnson, who's the one of the main guys from New Girl. They've had like so many, even they had Post Malone, and it's not even the like I've watched a bunch of them so far, and I started with people that I was like, oh, I know that guy, that'd be whatever funny, but I'm just watching all of them now, even people who I don't know, because the conversations are so deep and dark and depressing, but also funny. And that's the biggest thing, is like they will talk about these horrific experiences, but like in a good light and while making joke. Like it's the whole like, if you're not laughing, then you're crying. And it's, you go through these horrible things, and if you can't laugh about it, then what do you have? Like you need to be able to experience this and become better from it and laugh about it. And it is some of the most heartwarming content I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's so good. And there's, I think, like 15-ish episodes or whatever. They're about a half hour, 45 minutes long. Like they talk for a while. They get really deep in some stuff, and it's such a good, just sit down and watch. It's called Last Meal.
Last Meal
on YouTube.
Okay.
Mythical Kitchen, and it's so good.
So when you're saying OG, like how far back when did they start on YouTube? Like
2007, 2008,
oh, wow.
like OG YouTube guys. Yeah.
Right.
When we had flip phones.
Yeah.
Nokia sliders.
Yeah. Yeah, the LG chocolate.
Yeah, there you go.
The Motorola Razor. But yeah, no, it's such a good series.
Chris, do you have anything or any recommendations? I have a movie after.
No, like I said before, like my wife and I are getting back into Entourage, and you know the funny thing about Entourage is it was the series ran 2004 to 2011, so it's a lot of. I actually like when I sit there with my wife and I watch it, I'm always like, you sure you want to watch this? Because it's all about, it's about four guys trying to get,
laid
girls and stuff. And there's, like you're saying before, Justin, I mean, there's tits every 2 seconds, and there's so much vulgarity in it. It's hilarious.
Ari's the best character.
Oh yeah. And the funny thing too is like a lot of those actors, like Jeremy Piven, him. And there's a couple, and like I said, a lot of celebrities will just show up. Like even Mark Wahlberg is one of their buddies, right?
Yeah.
They always play themselves. But I think, Jeremy Piven, and there's a few other people that are in it that actually now it's almost like, life repeating, intimidating art or whatever it's called, because I think a lot of those actors actually have like cases against them now for like sexual misconduct and stuff like that. So
yeah,
a lot of, like, where are those guys now, right? Those guys that are in the show, I haven't seen them in anything. Actually, sorry, the main guy, Vinny, who's the main Hollywood star, my wife and I watched him on a Hallmark Christmas movie this year. So Yeah. Anyways,
I checked out a movie, and I mentioned it on. I think I mentioned it to on Monday, but Society of the Snow. It's on Netflix.
Is it a
Oof.
biopic about what's currently happening outside your front door right now?
yes, they're filming it right now.
Yes. So it's about a Uruguayan rugby team that flew over. They were flying to Chile for a match, or they're flying over Chile, the mountains, and their plane got hit. Through the weather, it was hit, and it landed in the mountains, and they're trying to survive for their lives, and it's very, very difficult to find them where they are because of weather, height, and all that stuff. But it is one heck of a movie. The way they filmed it, the acting, the issues that come up every so often.
How often does cannibalism come up?
It's funny you mentioned that because it's a big part of their
Okay,
survival.
good.
It's a big part of their survival.
That means it's a good movie.
It is a great movie. The ending is great. It's so good. I was like really blown away watching this movie. I probably have to give this an 8 out of 10. It was.
So is it based on a true story? Because there was that other movie, Alive. Was it called Alive? Or was it a soccer team?
Yeah. So this is based on a true story from that movie, I believe.
Okay.
They're connected somehow. It's a remake, I believe.
Okay.
I don't know the details. I just heard of it and I just put it on and I was just like amazed. I was like, this is pretty good. Me and my wife both watched it and we were just like, wow, like what do you have to do to survive? You've got to go through a lot. And look at where the conditions too. It's freezing there, right? It was pretty crazy. So yeah, I think it's an 8 out of 10. It was a good movie on Netflix.
Check it out for sure. All right, we'll get into some news stuff.
Yes, let's do it.
All right.
Cowabunga dude asking the important questions.
You have to watch and find out, my friend.
You won't be disappointed.
I'm going to share a photo with you guys. This photo came out this week. This is from obviously the new Ghostbusters.
Was it taken by an iPhone 5?
No, it's maybe a chocolate flip.
Yeah. So you know, we knew that these guys were coming back. We knew because they were. I mean, the disappointment about Ghostbusters Afterlife was what they were only like the last 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And
borderline.
But what people are focusing on. Hopefully, people are saying that these guys are going to be in it more part of the story. But everyone's focusing on her. She was the secretary.
Yeah.
And she's wearing a Ghostbusters suit. So everyone's like, is she part of the team? Blah, blah, blah. But my thought is, and I'm sure you guys are going to agree with me, that when they have movies like this and it's a big franchise and they're bringing the old people, the people that are in the originals, there's one person that I want to see, and you know who I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Like they even showed Sigourney Weaver
Melissa
in the first
McCarthy?
one. Yeah, exactly. No, that whole group. No, but we know he's also retired. How great it would be if Rick Moranis was back in this movie.
Oh
yeah.
Dude, I think he is.
You think so?
I think he is.
Did he come out of retirement?
I heard he is.
So about her, she went from washing dishes and now she's serving. She's working at the bar. Like she got promoted.
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't. We don't know. She doesn't have a proton pack on her.
That's true.
She just has the suit.
Neither does what's the name?
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Bill Murray,
Bill Murray looks like he can barely walk. Who runs like that?
Right. An 80-year-old ass man. That's who runs like that.
Dan Aykroyd looks like he's about to fall off.
Yeah.
No, but I'm so happy that however old they are, I'm just happy they're back in the fold in some capacity. Even if it's for 20 minutes in the show, I think it'll be longer than that. But
yeah,
when they announced the all-female cast of Ghostbusters, I'm like, why are you doing this without the original cast in some capacity? There's
Even
no
just
way in
as
heck
like
they're going to be successful.
mentors or trainers.
Exactly. There was no way I thought that movie is going to survive, and it didn't. It crashed and bombed so bad they don't even want to speak about it. Right?
Yeah.
So
True.
I'm happy that they have brought these guys into the fold, because all it does is enrich the movie with a little bit of class, right? It brings the nostalgia effect to people who watched the original two, and it ushers in a new generation. As much as people don't like remakes, some of them have to be made because we want them to last forever.
Yeah.
We want Star Wars franchises to continue. We want Turtles. We want Ghostbusters. What's that?
Sorry, that was an accident.
It's just bringing back the best comment of the night.
Thank you for taking an important part here and talked about booty.
Yeah.
But if you want these franchises to be around for the next generation, then you need to respect the past and not ignore it, but get it involved. And that's a lot of studios don't get that.
Yeah. It's the ignoring of
yeah.
You can reboot, and I mean, so like an example here is like, so the game that I've been playing on streams, that mod for Thief, which came out in 1998, that was so fulfilling, and it's not just a nostalgia thing because it's like, oh, it's close enough. It's because they were like, all right, we're going to make a campaign, a storyline in this game, in this universe, but we're going to make it reference and be in the same universe and have the same characters and references. And it was so good because it referenced and paid respects to all of it. And then so there's 3 games in the series. The 4th one is when they were like, we're going to reboot it. They don't have the same voice actor, even though he's still doing voice acting in a lot of games. It still sounds the same. We're just going to we're going to give him a sidekick. And it's like, nobody wants that. We're going to make him like this. And it's like, that's not how he is normally. And then also the game is just ass. I'm still going to play through it. Like after playing through the mod, and I started before my internet just died, playing through the first one, I'm going to blast through maybe like 1 or 2 of the games, and I'm going to get to the remake because it's so bad, and I'm just going to talk shit about it the whole time. But yeah, you need to pay respect to the original because you need to show how you got there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time it's ego. That's what it is.
Yeah. It's a good thing actually about the Ghostbusters and bringing back these characters is like, you don't need to change who they are, right? You don't have to go back to Venkman and he's been like, whatever. You don't need to, like, because they really obviously did that a lot with Star Wars, making Luke Skywalker so different and stuff like that. But you don't have to do that. And the good thing is too, with this movie, they're back in New York. They're back they go back to the
fire hall,
whatever, the fire hall and stuff like that. So I do think that these guys are going to be in it, but I still think the way they're showing it, and there's been sort of a trailer and a lot of these images that, I really hope. See, the other thing is with these big bringing these reboots back is that people do want these little cameos here and there, right? They want to see someone, and I think it'd be amazing if they had Rick Moranis in, and I think it would make the movie, even if it's just something really small, but still.
Even if they just like show up to his house and he's like, I don't know, a philanthropist now or something, like completely disconnected, and he was like, no, I'm out. And then
he's a yoga instructor now.
Or or something like that. And they're just like, hey, I left a battery pack for the proton pack and we're out. And he's just like, all right, whatever, here. I found it in my closet. And like just something.
Or him and Slimer are like roommates or something. Remember
He's actually not that bad.
yeah. Became friends.
He makes a mean cup of tea. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited to see it, though. My whole family loves Ghostbusters, and excited to see it. I hope it's a blend of new and old. Right?
Yeah.
It could be a good movie.
Yeah, for sure. Another image is going to... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go.
There was a news again this week, and we've talked about this a bunch of times, but I don't know if you guys saw this or not, but some people were saying...
Oh, God, no.
No, I know. No,
Yeah,
this is the James Gunn. Somebody said to him there was a rumor that Ryan Gosling was going to be Batman in the new Superman Legacy.
Yeah, I heard
And
about this.
James Gunn went right on and said, no, he's not. And my question is more along the lines is, okay, we've talked about, Superman Legacy a lot. It's in the news all the time, right? And we already know who Superman is and who Lois Lane, and now they've named Lex Luthor. They're bringing a lot of people. My question to you guys is, do we even need Batman in this movie?
He's not going to be in the movie. I don't know where people think this guy is going to be in the movie. He's not. People are trying to add characters to his movie, and that's why he came out and said, no, if he was going to be added into this movie, James Gunn would have just kept quiet. Sure. This guy is not going to be added in the movie. From what I heard, it's a Superman movie, and it's going to be centered in Metropolis. Batman's character is supposed to come out later in another movie, right? Whether it be Batman itself in a movie, but they're not going to throw a whole bunch of other characters in here. Maybe at the end credits scene, maybe an Easter egg, but I think that's it. You're not going to see him hanging around in Metropolis trying to tell Superman how to do his job or something. It's not that way, right? That's what I think.
I think it makes sense because this movie is not just a movie; it's a reboot, right? They've been building up this whole we're scrapping everything, we're starting fresh. So it's like, if you're going to start fresh, don't give us everything right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Start slow.
Don't scare people away.
Yeah. So I think you're right. The only way I even want to maybe you hear about Batman or or you see something at the end, but I agree.
Okay, let me ask you: seeing Ryan Gosling, do you want him to be as Batman?
I think Ryan Gosling.
Yeah,
and with the fact that Robert Pattinson was such a good goddamn Batman, I could see Ryan Gosling, but I think Ryan Gosling is too much of a big name, and
I think he's a pretty boy.
Yeah, but so is Robert Pattinson. But also, he is a pretty boy. But honestly, I know him from a lot of his darker
Ryan is
stuff.
more handsome than Robert, and I'll fight you on that.
You don't have to.
He's a good Canadian boy too.
I will agree with you.
Is Pattinson
until I die?
English? Pattinson's English.
He's
right?
Irish.
Yeah,
Pattinson. Yes, that's an Irish name. Irish.
Yeah.
But regardless, no, I know. Well, Ryan Gosling does a lot more dark stuff.
Yeah, what about it?
What about George Clooney?
You mean Cowabunga Dude does not like you today?
Cowabunga Dude is wrong. I think we've confirmed this. Just in general.
That's
I love you.
Size wrong, yes.
But your opinion does not matter here. No, it does matter. It does matter. It's just wrong.
Your opinion does matter, however bad it is.
Yeah. Your opinion matters. We're just going to disagree with it. That's okay.
Yeah.
The fact that you're still coming back means that our discourse is entertaining enough that
I'm here. The stream gets started.
Yeah, Harstead's here. All right, boys.
Let's start over. Okay, rewind. Okay,
right, so Monarch. Beer, let's go.
So Monarch episode 10. Let's see.
It was shit. Don't watch it.
Remember the guy in Wonka?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no, I don't see Gosling personally as Batman. I just don't think he has the chops.
You shut your mouth, Harstead.
Batman.
Well, he was a bat.
Yes, it's true.
Oh yeah, he was. That movie sucked too.
But my thought on Ryan Gosling is that I actually think that James Gunn is trying to get people that are sort of known but not too known, and I think Ryan Gosling would just take over.
Yeah,
he'd be
get him to play the Flash.
Speaking of that, did you see Ezra?
No.
He's on. I don't even know how this feed came to me. He's somewhere relaxing and enjoying life. And things.
You mean rehab?
No, it's at a waterfall somewhere in some tropical place.
Yeah, they have rehab centers there.
Was it at a kids swimming pool or something?
Oh, come on!
He's not allowed within families or children within 100 meters.
Yeah, he had to go to. Oh, yeah, he had to go to Skull Island, I guess.
No, they sent him. Yeah. Okay. That's just...
Anyways,
so
good on him. I guess started to recover. I don't know what to say
for the
to that.
fifth time. Hopefully, he stays out of the public eye and away from families and hotels.
Yeah. Just
So I have the best Hollywood news. I think of this year. I think everyone can agree. Pauly Shore is going to play Richard Simmons in a new biopic.
Oh, I heard about this. Yes, love it.
Yeah,
I mean,
this is
it's
the
a comeback.
best
Comeback for
typecasting.
Pauly Shore.
He's been in the.
I'd actually like to see the other way around. I want to see Richard Simmons play Pauly Shore.
You know what? Come on with if we're gonna do Barbenheimer.
I don't know if that's possible because he is.
If we're gonna do Barbenheimer, I want to see Pauly Shore play Richard Simmons. Richard Simmons play Pauly Shore. Both of them come out at the same time.
Jeez.
So there was a movie called "Is Pauly Shore Dead?" and now I'm looking up to see is Richard Simmons because I don't know if he's alive.
I do think Richard Simmons died.
He passed. That's
while
why I'm
ago.
shaking my head.
We got AI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it's a great casting. I think it's perfect casting. Yeah, I think it's.
I've seen Pauly Shore actually popping up on a lot of like comedy circuits lately, and I'm always happy when his old ass shows up.
I bet you there's people in the chat going, "Who is Pauly Shore?" At one time, he was very popular. At one time, and then he kind of went away.
Yeah, let's see. Encino Man. What else was he in?
Oh man, I love that movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
No, but he disappeared because he was. He's
one-dimensional.
No. He has 5 dimensions. They just all have the same voice. He just anytime that somebody talks shit about his movies, Adam Sandler did the same thing. Where
speaking of one-dimensional.
That's not true. You shut your mouth.
I know. Gemstones.
You shut your mouth.
But the rest of his movies are ass.
No. It's half and half. He's got the Nicolas Cage syndrome, where one movie will change your life and make you cry. The other one will make you not watch the movie. But the one that you hate, if anyone talks shit to him and goes, "Hey, this movie sucked," and he goes, "Yeah, but it bought a house in Maui, so suck my ass." And then they're like, "Oh, what about Best Friends or whatever movie, Funny People, or whatever that movie that he makes."
Well, I'm not dogging him. Dupin Studios giving him bank. Go do your thing, right?
Yeah, he's money. Like, yeah, they're like, "Hey, this movie sucked," and he was like, "The studio paid for me and my 5 best friends to go make a movie in Hawaii."
And one thing I do like about that is because he brings his friends along for a lot of his provides employment for like probably 20 of his friends.
Yeah. I think Pauly Shore was probably in a few of them too.
So you can do it. Who is that? You can do it.
Oh, that's
so Deuce Bigelow. Somebody help me on the chat. You can do it.
That's
I have no idea.
He's essentially the Hispanic version of Pauly Shore.
I love Deuce Bigelow. I love that movie. The first one. So good. Rob Schneider. Thank you. Love the guy.
But
he's employed because of Adam Sandler.
He's not Hispanic.
Yeah. But speaking of
he's half Filipino.
Yeah.
No, speaking of Sandler, right? I said you guys there's a new trailer called Spaceman.
Yeah.
I don't know if you had a chance to watch it or not. It looks like a serious role again for him.
Netflix, right?
Yeah.
He does. Yeah, like he'll do some funny ones. He'll do some kind of male ones, and then he'll do.
He'll do huge deal on Netflix. He'll
do Click, which will make you cry. He'll do The Cobbler, which will make you cry. He'll do like Punch Drunk Love. He'll do. I mean, 50 First Dates.
Well, yeah, that's the one.
That was also really good.
Yeah. He just does whatever he wants. You're right. He's signed a huge contract. There's that Halloween movie that he did where he's so silly in it. But
it's so dumb, but it's funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's,
so
I mean,
dumb.
that's
it's like, oh my god.
But
who gave this guy a camera?
No, but like Rob Schneider and David Spade are just like calling him like, what do you got for me? What do you got for me?
Because no, they're not. They're sitting in a mansion, and then he goes, "Hey, what are you doing in 2 weeks for a month?" Yeah. And then he goes, "I don't know, nothing." They're like, "Cool, plane's on his way."
Yeah. Dude, that guy must be like worshipped by his friends.
Yeah, it's the real.
They're probably loyal to him to a fault. whatever you need us, we'll be there.
Well, yeah,
Right?
because he's been doing it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
And also, all his friends, when he puts them in a role, they're good. And those movies are the perfect example of just like, you know, you put out in the background, you have a few drinks, you have, you know, a couple, whatever, you consume some substances or even too much Italian food, and you're having a great time. You just sit there, you veg out, you shut your brain off, and you laugh.
He also, like, it's not just his friends. Like, all of a sudden, Shaq has been in like 2 of his movies.
Salma Hayek.
Hayek, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. All the hot girls are gonna be our wives, which is you know, fiction there. And he's probably, because he's a big basketball player, right? So he's probably playing in some charity game, and it's just he's the Oprah.
He had basketball players there. Kevin Garnett was a basketball player. It was a movie.
Yeah. He just starts, you know, you could be in my movie. You could be in my movie. He's the Oprah.
He is an average actor who has punched up big time.
Yeah,
that's what I think. But Gemstones.
He is I'm going to call you on that.
Hold on. Gemstone was the only movie I thought he did a great job as an actor.
No,
all the other movies were just stupid comedy movies.
No.
Click. I didn't care about Click. I didn't care about 50 First
Cobbler.
Dates. I don't. Peach Cobbler's the only thing I like. I don't even like it.
The one you mentioned before, Justin, Punch Drunk Love. I like that.
Punch Drunk Love, dude. That's a hard movie.
All right.
That's because you don't like to feel feelings, Elvin. This is
I don't have it. I don't have it. Look, I don't
feel the theme of the show. You don't like feelings. Okay, we've
already cemented that.
Yes.
Let's move on.
I'm just letting the internet. I'm reminding the internet you don't like feelings.
Mando season 4 has been pushed back indefinitely.
Good.
Does anybody care?
Well, indefinitely. No. That's not true. That's not true. There are a lot of things that are coming out about Star Wars things that they're being pushed back indefinitely, and then they're immediately getting debunked.
Yeah,
the same thing
with the Rey film. They're saying that's being pushed back too.
They did, and then they came out and said it's not being pushed back indefinitely. We're just working on it.
That is a problematic project.
No, that is a good thing. That means they're not rushing it.
No. Let me
problem.
Finish. Let me finish. This has a massive problem because they didn't even want to do this. The director came out and pushed herself into that. She pushed the whole thing to get pressure on them to actually release it. They didn't even want this movie coming out.
Wait, the Rey movie?
Yeah, the director on her own pushed for remember a week ago I mentioned she went on, I think it was E! News or something, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She went on and she boasted about she did this without their approval. They didn't tell her to go on there and boast about it. She did it on herself.
How did she not get fired immediately?
Because they're afraid to fire her because of who she represents. That's
who
the
does
problem.
She represent?
She
it's
has
not Star Wars.
No. So she's known for her documentary about feminism and all that, right? I never watched her stuff, so I don't know anything about it. But there is already problems with that. And then we had Jon Favreau come out and say, we're doing a Grogu and Mando movie.
Yeah.
And so season 4 is like, everyone's like, well, we don't even need a season 4 right now because we have a movie.
Yeah.
So they pushed that away. The movie's coming out. Now the movie is still not like 100% greenlit. It all comes down to the person at the top. There has been so many Star Wars movies announced and then canceled.
Yeah.
They don't know what they're doing because at the top, they've got an incompetent person who doesn't know how to run this franchise. Or this.
I think it's more than that. I don't like at this day in 2024, I want to stop blaming singular people because Kathleen Kennedy can only be at fault for so much. I don't like her as a creative director. I don't like her as a studio head, and I'm not going to defend her ever. But as a multi-billion-dollar pissing company, and I'm not saying pissing as a replacement for an F word. I'm saying they're pissing billions of dollars away. She would not be there if she was 100% at fault. So I'm not defending Kathleen Kennedy, and
who do
there's
you blame?
So much.
Who do you blame?
There's
the shareholders don't care what you do. They just want the revenues.
They want the revenue. Exactly. I'm not saying it's
so they don't make decisions on what movie gets.
No, if anything, the shareholders are as on our side as anyone else, because they're just like, just make a good goddamn Star Wars movie. Just put some shit in it that's cool. Make an adventure. Make a space opera.
I don't think they even care about what's being made.
No. But I'm saying in the back of their heads,
they're rich old guys that want their money.
Yeah, all they're saying is just make money. And then how do you make money in a Star Wars thing? You just do an adventure movie. You make it fun. You have some likable characters, which I know is saying a lot, and it's way more convoluted and complicated than that. But it's not one person who's just going to be like, oh, let's get this person who's never directed a sci-fi movie. And then everyone's going, okay, well, you're the boss. No, if that was the thing, they would get fired immediately.
No, that is the thing, though. She is the one handpicking them. She's picking these directors. She even has gone on record that I've selected these directors to do these movies. At the end of the day, she's the one to be blamed because everything has to go through her desk. Everything has to be signed off on her. She is. I
think it's more complicated than that. Because it's been. So.
I mean, Chris, what are your thoughts?
Well, either if it's her or not, but it's almost like the coach of a team, right? When a team is failing, what do? They get rid of the coach. So I think getting rid of her is a good thing. Whether it's her, I don't know if it's.
And you know my theory, and I've said it to you guys before. Sorry to cut you off, Chris. You know my theory of why they haven't gotten rid of her, because I think she's got something on a lot of people.
Well, yeah, it's Disney. So honestly, there's a lot of shit.
Honestly, she was a coffee errand person for Steven Spielberg. How did she go all the way up?
She was a producer on E.T.
Before that, Spielberg came on record and said she used to bring us coffee.
Yeah.
There's audio. I understand. I understand. You're gonna start somewhere. Kevin Feige was also a coffee bringer, right? What I'm saying is, how does she get to the top there and stay at the top? It got there really fast too. At the top.
I mean, it's
right?
30 years.
There's got to be some clock.
It was not real top. It wasn't real fast. It was at least 30 years.
She was a producer on Indiana Jones, like one of the first Indiana Jones. She was a producer.
And E.T., like a producer, meaning she funded and had creative opinions on a lot of prolific movies in the 90s, in the 2000s. And again, I am not defending her and saying that I like her.
It sounds like it,
as a person. No, I'm just saying, I'm just painting the bigger picture. Like you're saying from your words, you're saying she came out of nowhere and now she owns Disney, and it's like
run Star Wars.
I know.
Not be part of the movie industry, to just be at the top of Star Wars.
Yes, I know. Quickly. But I'm saying she had a huge hand in some of the best movies that came out.
That's fine, but
I'm arguing that's
that
how
she doesn't know what she's doing at Star Wars.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Either way, we all agree that there needs to be. We've been saying this. Everyone's been saying this. That there needs to be some sort of change.
Yeah.
Whether that's
leadership has to change.
Yeah. Whether that's Favreau taking over, whoever. But I also now, when you say Mando season 4 and this movie, is the season 4 coming out? The season 4 coming out and then the movie? And does it lead into the movie?
So
that doesn't make any sense.
Season 4 was supposed to come out. Oh, that is weird. Season 4 was supposed to come out.
I'm making this better so that we can clip this later. It's better framing.
So you need some good sound bites, you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Season 4 was supposed to come out, and it was put on hold because they think the movie needs to be out before all of this. They also need a movie soon because they don't have any movie. This
is the best South Park quote. Best South Park.
It's actually not a woman. Put a chick in it and make her gay.
Put a chick in it and make her gay.
Those are their words. So,
it was a great joke.
But yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, this movie came out of nowhere, man.
I know how to make Star Wars. No, I almost said a sentence and it referenced. I know how to make Star Wars good again. And you now know the sentence that almost I said, and I
Magma or whatever.
Magma.
Magma.
Yeah, I mean it's volatile and it's lava.
Yeah.
You know how you make Star Wars? You know how you fix Star Wars?
Oh,
You know how you fix Star Wars?
Is this a knock-off joke? How do you fix Star Wars?
No. You know who you should put at the head?
Pauly Shore.
No. You know who you make run Star Wars?
We're gonna know it's eventually today.
Sam Witwer. You put this son of a bitch at the head of Star Wars. He is the what's his name who played no. What's his name who played Superman? And
Christopher Reeve?
No.
I'm old. Sorry.
The new one.
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill.
He is the Henry Cavill of Star Wars. Sam Witwer is the Henry Cavill of Star Wars, where he is widely known as loving the lore.
Who?
And also talking down to Dave Filoni, being like, no, actually, you kind of screwed up here because this is actually how it happened. And then went, oh, wow, you're right.
Wait, hold on. Time out. Sorry. What does Henry Cavill have to do with this again?
I'm just saying he is the Henry Cavill of Star Wars.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Everybody, you mean like everybody loves him?
Everyone loves him.
He's a likable person. Yeah.
He's a likable person. He knows the lore. He knows the industry. He knows what should happen, and he knows how to respect
Henry Cavill
the franchise.
Warhammer. Henry Cavill,
yeah.
And he's doing now Warhammer stuff for
exactly.
Yeah.
You get
he's a nerd of the IP. Yeah.
You get Sam Witwer to oversee Star Wars. How do we go wrong with that?
Well, he's not a woman, and they want a woman in place. Oh, I'm just being honest. They want balance and equality. I got no problems with that. I'm sure there's a capable female.
They wanted balance. They wanted balance, and then Darth Vader rose to power and then destroyed the Jedi. There's your problem. You don't want balance. You want the thing that works the best.
Who was the director that they canceled her show? Jensen? She was supposed to direct the X-Wing pilots show with Gina Carrera.
She directed Wonder Woman. That's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Her. I think she would have been great.
Wonder Woman was good. Yeah.
They also had some of the female directors in Mando.
Bryce Dallas Howard.
I think also the problem is you only have one person at the helm. You should have at least two, I think.
You get Sam Witwer.
One does TV, one does movie. Because DC is doing that right now.
Yeah, and they're a wonderful example to go by.
They just started.
DC.
They just started right now.
Okay.
Well, thanks for being Mr. Positive.
Hey, no, that's your job. You were being positive. I need to flip the script. I need to be negative.
I'm trying to be Mr. Positive now.
I know. I'm flipping the script. We need one or the other. That's right. We need two people at the top.
Yeah, I think.
But don't they just need? Elvin's gone. He's had enough. Oh, he's back.
No, I'm right here. I never left.
Okay, sorry. Look, you're buffering there for a second.
Okay.
The snow.
So what they need is like a Kevin Feige or somebody under.
No, Kevin Feige's burning the bridge now too.
No, I'm not saying him. I'm saying someone like him that just needs. I mean, it's just to look ahead and they need someone to control the whole thing.
There was an interview that Sam Witwer, not interview. There's a panel that he did at a Comic-Con where he talked about how much he doesn't love Star Wars. He loves George Lucas's work. And he just no, please, for the love of Christ.
Madam Web looks like a CW show.
Where he just talked about George Lucas and how much of a genius he was, and this entire franchise and this story and world that this man built and spawned so many things. But then he also went so far as to be like, the fact that we record audio digitally is because of George Lucas. The fact that we have computer graphics is because of George Lucas. Because
editing.
editing, digital
editing.
video editing is because of George Lucas. Like
Pixar.
the fact that he, like, for lack of a better term, he was just so punk rock about it. Of just like, oh, we don't have this. Fuck it, I'll build it. Whatever. We got to figure out how to do this easier. I'll build it. Well, I'll pay some people to build it. We'll figure it out and we'll make it work because I have an idea and I want it to happen. Let's figure out the best way to make this work. And that, when he sold it to Disney, because he's old as balls and is worth billions of dollars, and he's just like, I told all the stories. I'm done. Whatever. Yeah, you guys take it.
It goes back to what we just talked about with Ghostbusters. They ignore the past.
Exactly. You need some.
They're trying to reinvent the wheel here.
And I'm saying you get somebody who respects the past, like this son of a bitch, who goes on panels and voluntarily just informs a generation, because not a lot of people know what like impact of technology now and of entertainment and media and film and everything that George Lucas had. And you get somebody who respects the past, loves the lore, and respects the world that he works in. And that's why Disney keeps hiring this son of a bitch to do everything. Like, he is in every animated TV show just doing like basic voice lines, like background voice lines, because he's just like, I just love this universe. You get Sam Witwer to direct or to oversee, or not even, I just want him to be a like creative director. Do you not? Do you not?
I respect the guy, but I don't like dying to have this guy run at the helm.
Can you name somebody better?
Jon Favreau, I think. He's done Mando.
He's burnt out, and he already hates Disney at this point.
Well, you asked me who I'd want. You didn't tell me that he's burnt out. What is that?
Wasn't that supposed to be Dave Filoni's sort of position? Like
Dave Filoni has dropped the ball big time.
I'm saying they both.
I know he has, but was he not supposed to be set up like
he was a pretty vampire. You're not wrong. But also, this is a guy too who started in the soup kitchen, or it started in the dish pit.
I do want to talk about other disappointing news. Oh my god, I'm going to shed a tear for this one. She-Hulk 2 has been scrapped.
Yeah, I saw
that. I still haven't watched She-Hulk yet.
Those bastards. Yeah, don't. You should, if you value your time, don't. You'll have more entertaining time cleaning your dog's poop than they're watching this show. And I can attest I have a dog. Yeah. So this was canceled, and they're
also,
blaming.
You've seen my dog's poops, so you know how entertaining they are.
There you go. See, it is still entertaining. They're blaming that they spent all their money on the season 1, and therefore they can't have a season 2. I'm not buying any of that crap, because there's like 50 accountants for Disney Plus that will go through every single cent that's spent there. So don't give me this nonsense. Oh, we ran out of money and we can't do season 2. No, you ran out of fans to watch it. That's what you ran out. It's a terrible TV show. I actually loved that character when I was a kid, watching her and her cousin. Like, I love the family aspect of Marvel, when they like the Fantastic Four, how they're all family members. I love that stuff growing up as a kid. And they ruined that character, in my opinion. It made it into a joke. She doesn't have... You don't even feel for her. The way she even gets her powers was changed. Because the way she got her powers it was so interesting. She needed her a cousin's blood to survive, because she got shot and she was dying. She had to have surgery and she needed blood transfusion. And that's how she got her powers, because her cousin matched the profile. That is more emotional impact on a TV show or on a character that you will gravitate, even if you're not a fan. You'll be like, I'm in. Yeah, exactly, right? Talk about empowering women. You want to twerk, because that's how you empower women, right?
In a business suit, yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
There you go. You're all
Pantsuit.
business there. You're all business there.
Yeah.
Stay classy.
Yeah. So my thought is that while all this stuff with Marvel is like falling apart like this and everything else, can't you just picture Ryan Reynolds sitting there like, oh, we're writing that into Deadpool.
I'm so excited for Deadpool 3.
Yeah, I hope he does. I hope he makes so much fun of like everything, the whole multiverse.
I hope he makes all of the money. Speaking of good old Canadian boys,
Mm-hmm.
I hope he makes all of the money.
The Canadian boys are doing pretty good in Hollywood, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Making some bank.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, it's not a big loss. She-Hulk, that's for sure.
On to the next.
It wasn't it at the very end? Doesn't Hulk have a son now? Like, what are they doing with?
Yeah, with a bomb ass fucking haircut too.
Me and D, I think, vomited at the same time when that happened, because we know this character, and he's supposed to be like. So picture Jason Momoa with a shirt off tattoo. Well, that is Jason Momoa, but imagine him just going crazy. That's Scar.
No,
that's how his son's supposed to be.
It's meth head Momoa.
Man bun with the yoga outfit on.
Meth head Momoa is what they turned him into. Like trailer park meth head Momoa.
He's supposed to be like savage and insane, wild and unhinged. Like that's the character he's supposed to be. But instead we got man bun with Lululemon outfit on.
What's the Red Hulk name?
The Red Hulk?
Oh, is it called Red Hulk? Oh, okay.
Clip that.
This is how much Marvel is making me pay attention to characters more.
Yeah. But
we've got any other news here to add?
The only other thing I had was another Jonathan Majors being dropped from another
movie, right? Yeah.
Another movie. What's it called? Dream something? Hang on a second.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a biopic?
I'm just looking it up.
He was supposed to do
BRB.
Magazine Dreams is what it's called. But it's already been shot, but I think it's just it's supposed to premiere at Sundance, but it was supposed to be already picked up and now it's been dropped. So it's for sale. And
yeah, probably pretty cheap.
Yeah.
There's
Did we lose Elvin?
He's at BRB.
Oh, sorry.
We started talking shit about Hulk, and he was like, I gotta go vomit.
That's all I can take. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's also been going on a lot of interviews to try to get his name. Well, I guess tell his side of the story. But
sure.
I don't know.
He's still paying his PR team.
Yeah.
They've got their work cut out for him.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah.
He's had so many. Yeah, I don't care. And 2023 was, I'm gonna say, the worst year for people who like things.
What? The worst?
Because 2023 made a lot of Marvel fans not give a thundering piss about Marvel stuff. 2023 made Star Wars fans not care about Star Wars stuff. And now, and it's a multi-billion dollar industry that they now have to sell us back in on.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have to do so much work. They have to do more work. And I think it's diminishing returns because all of the Star Wars fans and all of the Marvel fans, we have to be sold again because we already don't care. And just the fact that Star Wars is like, hey, we're coming out with a new movie. I mean, I'm probably going to watch it, but I'm not going to pay money for it because I don't want to support them because I've been let down and disappointed so many times in the past now, like consecutively, both from Marvel stuff and from Star Wars stuff, that I'm not going to spend money on it. I'm going to watch it at a friend's house, as we say, because I don't want to give them money. But that is going to hurt them even more because they're going to have to spend more money on marketing, making me give a shit about it. So it's going to cost them it's going to double their production cost because I already don't care, and I'm not a vocal minority in this. I don't care, and I'm the reason why we started this show was so I could talk about Star Wars shit. Like, that's why Popcorn Chicken. Elvin was like, we need to give Justin a show so that he can drink and talk about Star Wars shit.
And I'm immediately regretting that.
But I don't care about Star Wars stuff now. So, like, they need to double their marketing budget to bring back Star Wars fans and be like, hey, we know that we've, like, it's like an abusive relationship. It's like, hey, we know that we've hurt you in the past, but trust me, I went to therapy and we changed. Yeah. And it's like, well, you got to show me the change first before I show up. And for them to be able to show that, they're going to have to spend a lot of money, which is, again, going to double their production budget. And most people aren't going to come back day one or like opening weekend or whatever. So I think,
well, we've talked about this a bunch of times, and I still think they need Star Wars, Disney, Marvel needs to do two things. First of all, they need to shut up and stop talking. And there's a thumb up.
You just, I love that.
Whoa, that was cool. How did you do that?
Well, you know, special effects. Right?
I think it's fireworks or something.
Marvel should hire you. That was great special effects.
I timed that perfectly.
You did a thing that added to your dialogue. You should consult.
They need to do. See if it doesn't work. They need to do two things. They need to shut up, and they need to take a bunch of time and not put anything out for a while, so we get interested again.
Acolyte's gonna bomb hard. I'm telling you right now.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I know so.
I'm hopeful.
I will bet anybody.
I'm gonna watch it at a friend's house.
Yeah, me too.
And I implore all of you to watch it at a friend's house.
Yeah.
Whose friend? Give us the address.
We all just show up and knock on the door.
It's a long-winded. It starts with HTTP and probably has something to do with pirates.
Your friend is a pirate? What?
Yeah, they're on the 7 seas.
One fits.
Oh, there we go. There's the joke now. From now on, I'm gonna watch it at my friend's house. He lives on the 7 seas. He's a pirate. He's a swashbuckler. We'll watch it at my swashbuckler friend's house.
All right. Anything else you want to add today before we wrap it up? We talked about quite a few things today.
Yeah.
We went all over the place. It was nice.
Lots of great comments from everybody in the
comments always make the show fun. Love it. Thank you everybody for joining. If you're new here, maybe think about hitting the subscribe button. Everybody hit the like button. Be nice, please. A couple of clicks of the like buttons.
Do it.
Please.
Hit the YouTube buttons.
And join us next week, every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Ha! I got it right. And then we also have our Monday show, 8:30 p.m. Richard Simmons is alive. Is he?
No.
Is this? I don't trust anything Cowbunga Dude says. So I'm gonna need some proof.
Cowbunga
Good boy.
Dude. There's a deep pit that you have dug yourself in with Willow.
Yeah. We're never gonna let you.
It's okay. He's got a Batmobile that we just gave to him a couple months ago, so he's good.
Yeah, so we can drive it to go find pictures of Richard Simmons.
Yes,
he is alive. 75.
Hey!
Oh, we thought he was dead.
No, he's 75 years old. So there.
Richard, we owe you an apology.
Yep.
Yes, please play Pauly Shore next movie.
Come on our show and yell at us, please.
Yes.
All right. With that, I think we will end the show today. Say bye.
Everybody. I'm gonna stream tomorrow morning because I no longer have a gig tomorrow morning, so my sleep schedule is already adjusted.
What are you streaming tomorrow?
Tomorrow I'm going to stream more Thief. You know what? Actually, I might just start now.
So if you guys need something to do, Justin's going to start streaming right now.
For the next 10 hours.
Yeah, you know what? Screw it. I might just start playing Thief and continue drinking.
Drink along with him.
And it's my favorite. If you want to see how somebody reacts to something they like, I'll be on in like a half an hour, and I'm going to play one of my favorite games.
Which is different than our show, because we just hate everything.
Yeah, so...
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
How am I the positive one here? Like, what the hell?
All All right. Bye, everybody.
All right.
next
Love
week.
you.
Bye.